don't miss the 5A and 6A UIL football state championships in January. For more information, visit uiltexas.org. This presentation of Fort Bend ISD Playoff Football on VYPE.FortBend.com is brought to you today by Xfinity. With the X1 Sports app, get up-to-the-minute scores, stats, and standings right on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity One.
Tonight's the night. Santa's trusting us elves to take care of the North Pole while he delivers all the holiday goodies. Wooden ponies, dolls, Xfinity.
Xfinity?
It's only the awesomest internet ever. Naughty or nice, they let you pick the speed that's best for you with options faster than gig. And you get internet with top-notch coverage.
Did you make Xfinity, Dad?
No, but I made the wooden ponies.
I guess those are good, too.
Enjoy fast, reliable internet and great coverage. Plus, advanced security is included at no extra cost with the Xfi Gateway. Simply log in and activate through the Xfinity app. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Ask about our fastest speed, 2 gig up and down. Go online, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Ends 1/11/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet 25 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
First Tire and Automotive wants to remind you, with the hustle and bustle of shopping, cooking, and traveling this holiday season, it's important to make sure your vehicle is prepared as well. Drop in and take advantage of the Home for the Holidays Flush Package to ensure you travel safe wherever the season takes you and your family. The more you flush, the more you save. Visit the website for all the details on the Home for the Holidays special and call for an appointment today. Visit any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch, Katy. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
GetAGreatGig.com presents Gary Horn of HornSolutions.net on the most important factors in starting a business.
Number 1, where will you get the necessary capital? 2, you will probably not make money for some period of time. Prepare a conservative model of expected cost and revenues. 3, are you willing to work long hours for no pay and make sure all employees are paid?
For more free career and job search advice, log on to GetAGreatGig.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn, CEO of Horn Solutions. Our team of experienced accounting, finance, and IT professionals have delivered solutions to Houston businesses for over 3 decades. Our project group provides services ranging from assisting with mergers, acquisitions, and integrations to interim staffing. Our executive search group provides full-time placements for accounting, finance, and IT positions. Let Horn Solutions help you meet the challenges your company faces. Visit hornsolutions.net.
You are the master of the multitask, the champion of making it happen. Taking care of business is not for the faint of heart. Still, you take care of it. Taking care of business. But who takes care of you? Office Depot Office Max. We supply you, copy you, and tune you up. Members get 2% back in rewards on everything, and we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank Nick Zion and his team at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace and Sugar Land. Office Depot helps our team at Fort Bend or at VYPE.FortBend.com take care of business every day as we bring you Fort Bend County sports every week.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Texas did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
You're listening live to Texas 5A Division II third round playoffs. As to this afternoon, we've got the 11-0 Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes taking on the 9-2 Nederland Bulldogs. Welcome into the broadcast, everybody. Brandon MacArthur going to take you on this Saturday afternoon playoff journey here, as we are going to have a doozy set up here, as these 11-0 Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes are nothing to mess with. They come in absolutely dominating on this season. They have a total of 72 touchdowns this year, including averaging 8 touchdowns per game. And if you think that they're just going to light it up on offense, you got something else coming for you, because they can play some defense. In fact, they started off the season winning their first game 7-0, and then they go on a roll: 62-0, 60-0, 68-0, 62-0, 63-6, 56-0, 69-14, 61-0. This team can put up some points, and not only that, only allowing 62 total points this season, and that includes playoff football. Well, right now, it's going to be Fort Bend Marshall to receive the kick here in their yellow helmets, white tops, and yellow pants, black socks, against the Nederland Bulldogs coming out in the silver helmets, black tops, and black pants. And it's going to be a pooch kick that's angling towards the 20. It's kind of hung up in the sky. It's caught right there about the 17, trying to run it over to the sideline, making a couple of tackles, and then finally corralled down by a slew of Bulldogs below the 25-yard line, right there at the 24-yard line. And we are located here at beautiful Turner Stadium in Humble ISD, and it is a gorgeous day for playoff football here. Not a cloud in the sky, about 70 degrees, a little light breeze too, and these fans they're socially distanced, but it is definitely what you would consider a packed house, considering how socially distanced they are. And leading out this team will be for the Buffaloes. That's number 1. That's Harvey. He's a senior. He's 61 of 92 on the season for almost 1,200 yards, 19 touchdowns, and only 1 interception on the season. Harvey's set up in the shotgun. He'll send a man in motion now. Takes the snap, and it's going to be an inside handoff. Trying to find some room on the outside. Cuts back up to the middle, and then taken down for a gain of about 3 yards. It looks like it's number 34. That's Wortham, the sophomore, who comes in. That's his 29th carry on the season for 421 yards. But he has 6 touchdowns on the ground, and that's good enough for third on the team, as he's trying to lead Dudley with 15, McGowan with 10. And it's going to be another handoff to Wortham. He's trying to back it out to the outside. Stiffs arm a couple of guys. Will push the pile forward. He stays in bounds as he's tackled past the 30-yard line. Check that. They're going to mark it exactly at the 30, so it makes it about 3rd and 5 here. And this Buffalo team, they can, like I said, not only put up some points in a hurry, as again, coming in averaging 8 touchdowns per game, which is absolutely nuts. On the season, they have 46 rushing touchdowns and 23 receiving. Sends a man in motion. Harvey takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's looking over the middle. He'll fire, and it's off the hands of Marshall, incomplete. He had Marshall right there at the 40-yard line, hit him in a perfect spot. He just wasn't able to corral it, incomplete. So now 4th down, bring out the punt team. And, Marshall, he's a little bit gimpy right there. You cannot afford to lose him, as he is the junior leading the team in touchdown receptions with 10. And as he goes to a knee, they'll check on him. He's trying to rise to his own power, but then goes right back down. And he is definitely favoring it. Looks to be that right ankle area. Hopefully it's just a little bit of a stinger. And it looks to be so, as he's hobbling off the field under his own power. So that's good to see. So as Marshall heads to the sideline now, it brings up 4th down here. It's 4th and 5 with 10:56 remaining here in the first quarter. And bringing out, this will be the first time the Buffaloes will punt after their first drive here. Not a man very far back here to receive for the Bulldogs. He's standing right there at the 45-yard line. I mean, it's about 15 yards as they sent everybody. It will be a punt that gets away cleanly, takes a Buffalo's hop as it is bouncing down the sideline, rolling all the way and stops at the 20-yard line. So beautiful punt there for the Buffaloes, sends the Bulldogs all the way back as they will take over for their first time on their 20-yard line. And again, the Bulldogs coming in on this season 9-2 overall, as they have been a team that is not to be messed with as well, especially on the offensive side. Coming in as they dropped their first game 31-28, and then they won 42-20, lost 22-21, won 38-7 over Santa Fe, 31-10 over Texas City, 42-26 over Dayton, 41-35 over Barbers Hill, 42-9 over Kingwood Park, 29-24 over Crosby, 37-0 over Sterling, and then 34-21 in their previous game to make it here. It's going to be a snap. It's an inside handoff. He's got a big hole up the middle as it will be a gain of about 8 yards, so it makes it a 2nd and 2 as it was a beautiful run there as I'm trying to see who the number was. It looked like it was number 10 for the Bulldogs, as that is the senior running back Josh Mazik, the 5'8", 165-pounder. And it will be set up in the shotgun here, as that is their quarterback. It doesn't look like it's number 7, Chandler. I'm trying to see a number on there as they have these blocked white letters that are just a little bit hard to see up here in this press box. It's going to be an inside handoff to Mazik. He's trying to cut back up to the middle, and this time the Buffaloes are ready for him as he makes it back to the line of scrimmage. So a gain of nothing makes it 3rd and 2 here with 9:50 and counting remaining in the first quarter. So right now, both teams trying to just establish something as they're still getting their footing set here in this beautiful day here for Texas football. And it looks to be like it's number 9. That's Mason Besserford, but he's listed as a wide receiver here and a free safety. So we'll have to get some clarification on that, as it might have been a number change here. Nonetheless, set up in the shotgun. Bulldogs dropping back to pass. They're going to fire one deep over the middle, but unfortunately the receiver stopped in his route, so it falls incomplete, and that will bring up a 4th down here. Let's see what the Bulldogs are going to do, as they are just standing right there at their 27-yard line. Check that 28-yard line. With it being 4th and 2, they will just now send out the punt team unit now, so both teams here in their first drives. Looks like it's going to be 3-and-outs and punts, as it will be back deep here for the Bulldogs. Or, check that, for the Buffaloes. It looks to be number 3. That's Javion Matthews, the 5'9", 150-pound senior. And he can definitely fly if he gets some angle on the outside. It's a good snap. Punt is high, angled towards the sideline. It bounces great for the Bulldogs, rolling all the way. Is it going to reach the end zone? And it does. What a punt right there for the Bulldogs, as that was about almost an 80-yard punt as it goes into the end zone for a touchback. So after the touchback, we're going to see what the Buffaloes can do taking over on their second drive. Now, we were talking about this Buffaloes offense here. Coming in on the season, they have for their rushing offense total, they have 2,234 yards, and again, 46 touchdowns on the ground. But don't sleep on their passing game either. Coming in, throwing the ball, averaging 152 yards a game. Their rushing attack is 248 yards per game. So you can see they definitely know how to mix it up well, and they rely a lot on their senior quarterback, Harvey, as he is somebody you will see pass it and can also run it as well. As on the season rushing, he is 3rd in carries with 27 for 247 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. But again, Harvey doing the damage mostly in the air with that 19 touchdowns to 1 interception. An absolute dynamic quarterback in the back. It's a fumbled snap. Harvey picks it up. He's trying to make something out of nothing as he will dive forward almost to the 24-yard line. So it's good enough for a gain of about 4 yards to make it 2nd and 6 with 8:48 and counting here in the first quarter. Again, we're located here at beautiful Turner Stadium in Humble ISD, as it is a gorgeous day for football. So if you are tuning in to VYPE Live, appreciate everybody who's dialing in the knobs, and maybe you can go sit outside and enjoy some of this weather while you listen in too. Harvey set up in the shotgun. He's got 2 backs split off to his left. It's actually going to be an inside handoff, trying to drive the pile forward, still on his feet, It might have nudged the football for about 2 yards, so it makes it about 3rd and 4, maybe right here for the Buffaloes, as I was trying to see a number on that for the handoff. I believe it was number 25, McGowan, the junior, who has 388 yards on the season, but 10 touchdowns. And again, he's trailing Dudley, number 21, the junior as well, who's got 15 on the ground, and including the most rushing yards at 487. So 3rd and 4, they send a man in motion. Harvey takes the snap. He's rolling out of the pocket. He's looking over to his left. He'll fire that way. He's got a man. It's caught, and it will be good enough for the first down, as it is Javion Matthews, the returner, making a beautiful catch on the sideline there. Stretched his body out, kept his toes right there on the sideline, and was able to snag it, move the chains. 1st and 10 here for the Buffaloes, as they have the ball pushed up to about the 33-yard line. And it will be Harvey set up in the shotgun, 2 back split off to his left, 2 wide receivers down on his far right, 1 in single coverage. It's going to be a wide receiver screen that's thrown way over the head of Matthews. Harvey just put a little bit too much on that. They were going to do kind of a bubble screen over to Matthews and try. He had the blocking on the outside too, but Harvey just sailed that one incomplete. So clock stops, 7:36 here in quarter 1. 2nd and 10, ball still resting on the Buffalo's 33-yard line. And unfortunately, I apologize to all those at home that are wondering, where's the crowd noise, where's the band, so you can get into this. Unfortunately, here at Turner Stadium, the windows do not open. It's a beautiful press box, and unfortunately, we just don't have the capability to reach a mic outside, unfortunately. So we will do our best to try to do something for that. It's going to be a snap to Harvey. He does a little shuttle pass up the middle, and then a flag comes flying in. We'll wait for the flag. Typically, that's going to be a holding. It is, judging by the referee's signal there. So it's going to be a holding on the offense. We'll back it up 10 yards. So we'll replay 2nd down. It should make it 2nd and 20 with the ball on the 23-yard line. So as they mark off that yardage real quickly, they'll send it on back there for a moment. And again, on the passing side here, it's not just been all Harvey. We read off how they've been blowing teams out. In fact, they didn't give a touchdown, or the Buffaloes didn't give up a touchdown until Game 6 of their 11-game season, which is just absolutely astronomical. But their backup quarterback, Banks, he's nothing to sneeze at either. As he's come on the season, he's only played in 8 games, but when in those 8 games, he's done a ton of handing the ball off, as he's only 10 of 15 for 169 yards, 4 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. 2 interceptions on the season compared to 23 touchdowns in the air. It's a wide receiver screen out to Matthews. He's trying to juke around out there. Stiff arms one man, then finally slung out of bounds. It might be a pickup of maybe 2, possibly 1 yard. Not very far there for the Buffaloes. So now it makes it 3rd and about 19, possibly 18, as he only made it up to the 24-yard line, so it was only a gain of 1. 3rd and 19, clock stops at 7:17 after Matthews was thrown out of bounds. Matthews on the season here receiving for the Buffaloes is got 19 receptions before today for 311 yards and 5 touchdown receptions. Harvey dropping back to pass. He's looking deep. He's firing one over the middle, and it's caught by Marshall. He's to the 30, cutting it up the middle. He's got a blocker ahead of him, the 15, 10, 5, and then reaches for the pylon, and they'll say touch. Oh, no, he's waving it that he's out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And oh, baby, the Buffaloes on one play, 3rd and 19 from their own 24-yard line, throw a bomb to Marshall, and he races it all the way down to the 1-yard line of the Bulldogs. And they sent out the special teams unit, so check that. The referees got together, and they changed the call, so it will be a touchdown there for Marshall. A 76-yard touchdown in the air. Harvey to Marshall with the extra point pending. As what a play. Waiting on the snap. It's good. Kick is up, and it looks to be pushed far right. No good. So after a 76-yard pass from Harvey to Marshall, it puts up the Marshall Buffaloes from Fort Bend 6-0 when we return here on VYPE Live.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Texas. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody. Brandon MacArthur here on this Saturday afternoon, this 5A Division II third-round playoff game between the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes taking on the Nederland Bulldogs. And it was just a 76-yard bomb, Harvey to Marshall, as it puts the Buffaloes up 6-0 after the missed extra point. Harvey was staring at a 3rd and 19, chucked a ball deep into coverage, but Marshall, using that height, leaping over the defenders, snagging it, and then racing down the sideline. He had a man in front of him blocking ahead, and he was able to reach for the pylon and score, and that is how we are up 6-0 Marshall with 7:01 remaining here in the first quarter. It's a high pooch kick angling over to the sideline. It's going to take a bounce, and I think Marshall's going to get it. It bounced right there at the 35. The Bulldogs didn't touch it. They thought it was going to go out of bounds, but it looks like the Bulldogs were able to get a hand on it. We're still waiting on a signal there. All the Marshall players are pointing that way. Referees are gathering, talking right there on the 30-yard line, and judging by the team over there on the sideline there for Fort Bend, it looks like it's going to be Buffalo football. Still no official signal here. And it will be. It's Fort Bend football. So a high pooch kick that was angling towards the sideline, Nederland thought it was going to bounce out of bounds. Instead, it just kind of took a wicked hop, hung up in there long enough for Fort Bend to corral it, and now they will have excellent field position on the 29-yard line of the Bulldogs. So Harvey back out there, set up in the shotgun, sends a man in motion. It will be a jet sweep handoff there, trying to get it out to the outside. Ducks under one defender, misses a couple of guys, and then pushes it up past the 25, up to the 23-yard line for a good gain of about 6. So it should make it 2nd and 4 after the beautiful little okey-doke handoff there, our jet sweep. I believe that was number 26, Jeffrey McWilliams, the junior running back. Nope, check that. It was number 28. That's Terrence Fontenot, the junior running back as well. So 2nd and 4, ball on the 23-yard line of the Bulldogs. Harvey set up in the shotgun, takes the snap, dropping back to pass, looking deep over the middle. He throws it too high for his receiver as he had Fontenot open in the middle, but sailed it over his head into the end zone, incomplete. So now it stops the clock with 6:15, and it's 3rd and 4 remaining here in this first quarter. So now Harvey looking over at the sideline here as neither team does any sort of huddling. All they'll do is kind of everybody looks over to the sideline for the play calls from the head coach. And Harvey's got the signal. He's yelling up to his front line here, setting up the play. He'll be set up in a shotgun. He's got 2 wide receivers off to his right, 2 off to his left, and a tight end linked off the line. He sends a man in motion, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper there. Harvey trying to bounce it out to the outside. He's got a blocker. He's at the 10, the 5, and then a flag comes in. Oh, man. Harvey was walking into the end zone. They throw a flag on Marshall for holding, and he is absolutely livid out there on the sideline, completely getting upset with the referees. And if Marshall doesn't calm down, he might get flagged again here, and you cannot afford that. It's already going to be 10 yards on the hold. And Marshall, man, still just irate there. You just cannot believe it. He thought he had the inside position as Harvey was almost just able to walk into the end zone. But it will be a holding on Marshall, so back it up 10 yards to make it on the 33-yard line. Now it stretches it to 3rd and 14. So a devastating hold as Marshall is now taken out of the game to go on the sideline just to cool down. Not the receiver you want to take off the field on a 3rd and 14 after his 76-yard touchdown reception just last series. But Marshall now, he'll be resting over there. So after the infraction, 6:07 remaining here in the first. And check that, it's actually a 3rd and 4. They just are replaying it, backing it up after the hold was good enough for a first down, but due to the flag, backs it up 10. So Harvey's rolling out of the pocket. He's got heavy pressure. He fires it too high for Matthews, incomplete. So it stops the clock with 5:52. It will make it 4th and 4 with the ball still resting on Nederland 23-yard line. And judging by the way the offense is kind of standing out there, I believe the Buffaloes are going to go for it. And in fact, they will. So Marshall now checks back into the game here for Fort Bend. After rushing for one play, he checks on for Jaquiz White, the 5'9", 160-pound corner/wide receiver here for the Buffaloes. So 4th and 4, ball on the 23, 5:52 remaining in the first quarter. Harvey set up in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers split off on either side of the ball. He sends a man in motion. That's Matthews. He'll actually quarterback keep it after the fake handoff, and he's going to lower his head, but nowhere near the sticks, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. So the holding call from Marshall against Marshall cost the Buffaloes a touchdown after they were able to recover a quote-unquote onside kick that just bounced fortunately for them. They took over on the 29-yard line of the Bulldogs and come away with no points. So the score still remains 6-0, 5:43 in the first quarter, and trotting back out will be the Bulldogs for their second possession of the game. They send a man in motion. They look over to the sideline here for an adjustment. They stop the tight end in kind of a pistol formation here. Takes a snap. It's going to be an inside handoff, trying to break past the Buffalo front line. He's able to swim past a couple of defenders for about a gain of 2. So it should make it 2nd and 8 here for the Bulldogs, as a nice little run there by number 10. That's Josh Mazik, the 5'8", 165-pound senior running back here for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs right now have 3 wide receivers set off to the far right side and single coverage down here on the far left with the tight end split off the line. He'll be able to take a snap. He's going to swing it out to the outside. It's caught for a wide receiver screen. Makes a couple of people miss. Keeps driving the tacklers forward for a good gain there as he pushes it up to the 29-yard line and makes it 3rd and very manageable, as it will be 3rd and 2 here for the Bulldogs. And at quarterback, I officially have confirmation, as it is number 6, Renee Cunningham, as he is listed here at 5'10", 170. He's listed as a wide receiver free safety according to my rosters that I have in front of me, and I will make sure at halftime I am getting that correct, and I apologize to anybody listening at home that might be yelling at their screens. So Cunningham, he's dropping back. He's going to take off himself. He's going to try to make a couple people miss. He's close to the stick. Judging by the location, it looks like he has enough for a first down here, and he does. So move the chains. 1st and 10 here for the Bulldogs, as that is their first down here in the ball game. So clock will roll now. We are under 4:15 and counting here in the first quarter, as that is 1st and 10, ball on the 32-yard line of the Bulldogs. Cunningham setting up the offense now. He'll have 2 wide receivers over to the far right, 1 over to his far left, and then the tight end and running back split off the line here in kind of a pistol formation. Cunningham takes the snap. He'll swing it out to a wide receiver over there on the screen. Gets past a couple of defenders and then finally corralled down past the 35 to the 37. So a nice pickup there of about almost 5 yards. Should make it 2nd and 5 after the completion was to, I believe, number 2. That's Lance Nicolosora. My apologies, Lance and his family listening in, as he is listed at 5'11", 155, the senior wide receiver / outside linebacker. And he can definitely scoot as well and make a couple of defenders miss. So 3:20 and counting, 2nd and 5, ball on the 36. Cunningham takes the snap. It's going to be an inside handoff, and he is going to have nowhere to go as that Fort Bend team is ready there, and it will be a loss of almost 2 yards. Check that. It will just be a yard, so now make it 3rd and 6. 3:05 and counting remaining here in the first quarter, with the ball still resting now on the 37-yard line. My apologies. Make that the 36. So now Cunningham still taking his time, looking over there to the sideline, as he will now have 2 wide receivers over to the far left, single coverage to his far right, and again his running back / tight end just in kind of a formation where he has the running back split off to the side of him, and his tight end is just off to the side in front of him. So interesting protection formation here. And Cunningham dropping back to pass. He's looking. He's scrambling out to the outside. He'll throw it over to the middle to his running back, Masick, and then he is brought down immediately as it will be for another loss as it pushes the ball back to the 35-yard line. So 4th and 6, and the Bulldogs are going to have to send out the punt team here again after only picking up 1 first down. And then on a 1st and 10, they gained 5 yards, and then the next 2 plays were losses of 1 yard each. And that's how we've reached 4th and 5. We're under 2 minutes as they now send out the punt team here with 19 seconds on the play clock. So still plenty of time. They're probably going to let the clock run down a few more seconds before they boot this one deep. Matthews back deep for Marshall. It's a low snap, good corral there by the punter. Good high, deep punt, and that's going to be caught by Matthews at the 25. Tries to make one Bulldog miss. He sheds one off. Cutting back up, makes another Bulldog miss, and then finally brought down hard at the 31-yard line. So Matthews with a nice return there, as it will be 1st and 10 here for Fort Bend, taking over on their 31-yard line with 1:32 remaining here in the first quarter at Turner Stadium here in Humble ISD on a beautiful Saturday afternoon for Texas 5A Division II third-round playoffs, as one of these teams is trying to move on here in this 5A state championship here in Texas, as Fort Bend trying to remain perfect as well, 11-0 on the season. And they are one of the better teams here in Texas, as I believe last time I checked, they actually rank 125th. But they are somebody that can hang with anybody on a given day. Dropping back to pass is Harvey. He's going to swing it out to Marshall. He has some couple people on the left side. Then he's able to push it up past the 35. Check that. Shoved out of bounds right there at the 37-yard line. So a pickup of about 6 yards should make it 2nd and 4 with the ball on the 37-yard line. As the Bulldogs coaches, they wanted a holding on the outside there against the Marshall receivers. But they had position there, and the play will stand. So 2nd and 4. Check. The board says 2nd and 3, but that would be way too long of a 3 yards. So 2nd and 4, 1:26 clock stopped after Marshall was pushed out of bounds. Harvey sends his running back into motion. It's a low snap, but he's able to corral it. Throws it over there to a wide receiver screen, Matthews. He has the first down and more as he gets up to the 50-yard line and then trickles out as a flag. And so it most likely is going to go against Fort Bend, as it's probably going to be a holding after the coaches on the sideline for Fort Bend are showing exactly what he did wrong. So we'll see what this is going to do and how this affects the play, as they are still talking over there on the sideline, still waiting on the call from the White Hat. And it is going to be a holding against Fort Bend. So back it up 10 yards and repeat first down. So they're moving it 10 yards back here, seeing where they're officially going to put it. It looks like they're right there at the 36-yard line. So it should remain about a 2nd and 4 even after the holding. So 2nd and 4, ball on the 37-yard line to Fort Bend with 1:19 remaining here in the ballgame. Harvey, he's set up in the shotgun, like he always will be. 2 wide receivers split off to his right, 1 over there to his left in single coverage. He sends a running back in motion. Takes the snap. He's looking left. Still looking. He's going to fire deep. Does he got a man? And it's, almost picked off as that ball hung up in the air there for Nederland. But nice job by the wide receiver having to turn defensive back there to make sure that didn't get intercepted. And it will fall incomplete. Clock stops with 59 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, as it is now 3rd and 4, ball still resting on the 36-yard line here for the Buffaloes. And, man, Harvey, he had a man deep, as it looked like he was trying to throw to, I believe that was number 28 here for the Buffaloes, as that is Terrence Fontenot, the junior running back. And Fontenot did an excellent job, as he knew he wasn't going to be able to get to that ball, turned defensive back and made a beautiful play to break up an interception. So referee comes flying in as Fort Bend is going to take a timeout. So we will take one with them here. 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 6-0 Fort Bend leading here on VYPE Live.
Tonight's the night. Santa's trusting us elves to take care of the North Pole while he delivers all the holiday goodies. Wooden ponies, dolls, Xfinity.
Xfinity?
It's only the awesomest internet ever. Naughty or nice, they let you pick the speed that's best for you with options faster than gig. And you get internet with top-notch coverage.
Did you make Xfinity, Dad?
No, but I made the wooden ponies.
I guess those are good too.
Enjoy fast, reliable internet and great coverage. Plus, advanced security is included at no extra cost with the X5 Gateway. Simply log in and activate through the Xfinity app. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Ask about our fastest speed, 2 gig up and down. Go online, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Ends 1/11/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet 25 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Welcome back to Turner Stadium, everybody. Brandon MacArthur here with you in this Texas 5A Division II third round playoffs here. As right now, Fort Bend, with 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter, has a 3rd and 5 on their 36-yard line. Harvey dropping back to pass. He's going to fire it over the middle to Marshall. It's caught. He's past the 50 and then dragged down right there about the 45-yard line. Move the chains. 1st and 10 as Marshall is going off here in this first quarter after he has one 76-yard touchdown reception. That was the only points of the ball game here. And just now, again, picking up a gain of almost 10 yards here to move the sticks. And it's going to be an inside handoff to the running back as he's trying to turn forward, and it will be a gain of about 3 yards, so 2nd and 7, as it looked to be a handoff. I'm trying to see a number there. I believe it was number 25, which is McGowan, the junior running back. And right now there's a Buffalo's offensive lineman who is limping around right now. He fell to the ground, but he's back up, trying to walk off a little stinger on his right. And so that's why we have a timeout here just for a moment to get the injured Buffalo off the field. So right now it's 2nd and 6, 14 seconds remaining in the ball game. Ball on the Nederland 45-yard line as Harvey's trying to see if he can pick up some more points before we head to the second quarter. It's been all Buffaloes right now as they had to start the game, it was a punt and then a 76-yard touchdown, Harvey to Marshall. And then they recovered the onside kickoff on the 31-yard line. It wasn't really an onside, it was more of a pooch kick that just took a Buffalo bounce. And I think we're going to have another timeout. Nope, instead they're going to let the clock run down. So that's the end of the first quarter. It's 6-0 Marshall leading Nederland as we head to quarter number 2 here on VYPE Live.
First Tire and Automotive wants to remind you, with the hustle and bustle of shopping, cooking, and traveling this holiday season, it's important to make sure your vehicle is prepared as well. Drop in and take advantage of the Home for the Holidays Flush Package to ensure you travel safe wherever the season takes you and your family. The more you flush, the more you save. Visit the website for all the details on the Home for the Holidays special and call for an appointment today. Visit any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch, Katy. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
This presentation of Fort Bend ISD Playoff Football on VYPEFortBend.com is brought to you today by Xfinity. With the X1 Sports app, get up-to-minute scores, stats, and standings right on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity One. Well, welcome back into the ball game, everybody, as it's going to be the start of the second quarter. Buffaloes have a 2nd and 8 on the 42-yard line of the Bulldogs. It's going to be Harvey set up in the shotgun. He sends Matthews in motion over to the far right side, takes the snap. It's going to be an inside handoff to McGowan. McGowan tries to cut back up the middle. It's a good gain as he passes the 40-yard line, taken down at the 38. Should make it a 3rd and very manageable. 3rd and about 3 as he is now moving the ball forward here for the Buffaloes. So 11:40 and counting. Ball on the 42-yard line. Harvey sending Matthews in motion again. Takes the snap. And he's looking over towards Matthews' way, and it's going to be too far ahead of Matthews, incomplete. So clock will now stop, and it brings up another 4th down here for Fort Bend as the clock stopped at 11:30 remaining here in the first half. And apologies to everybody again. We will do what we can to try to see if we can get you some of the band during halftime, as again, there is no crowd mic currently because of the window situation up here in the press box. It doesn't open, and there's not a location to try to get something, but we will get creative here. Harvey takes the snap, and it's kind of a broken play here as everybody's standing around. He chucks it deep to the end zone, and it's too far, incomplete. But what's going on? Now everybody's stopped. I believe we had a whistle somewhere, because if that play stands, it's going to be a turnover on downs. And judging by the way the Bulldogs are reacting, they're bringing off the defense and sending out the offense. So a very strange play, as it's another turnover on downs here for Fort Bend. Harvey snapped it, but everybody wasn't prepared for it. I think they heard a whistle or something because all the players just stopped. Harvey dropped back. He had a wide receiver sprinting down the sideline. Luckily for the Bulldogs, he was in tight coverage as well. Harvey let a cannon loose that if it was caught, it would have been a touchdown, but it was too far ahead of his wide receiver. I believe that was number 11, White, the senior wide receiver over there, just out of his stretch of his hand, so it falls incomplete. Turnover on downs, and out trucks again. Here come the Bulldogs. An excellent field position as they have the ball on their 38-yard line. It's going to be a direct snap to the tight end. I'm not sure that was supposed to happen like that, but either way, pushes the pile forward to the 40-yard line. So a gain of 2 makes it 2nd and 8 with 11:10 and counting. Cunningham looking over to the sideline here for the play call, as he has one wide receiver set off to the far left in single coverage, 2 wide receivers down here on the far right at the 40, and then he has his tight end and running back split off on either side of him. Cunningham checking the defense now. Creeping in is the Fort Bend corners, and it's going to be an inside handoff. Nope, it's going to be a screen. Pitches back over to Cunningham. He's looking deep as they're trying a little bit of a flea flicker. He's in trouble. He throws it in the backfield there. It's caught at the 25 to the 30. Looking up, makes it up to the 40, and then finally taken down for a gain of 1. And oh my Lord, what a broken play. That almost ended up disastrous for the Bulldogs. But nice job there on the Fort Bend coverage, as they will make it for a loss of 1. So 3rd and 9, ball resting on the 39-yard line of the Bulldogs, as there's 10:18 and counting here in the second quarter. So Cunningham now setting up the play. He has trips wide receivers over to his right, one over to his far left in single coverage, and his tight end split off to the left of him. He's set up in the shotgun here, as it's probably an obvious passing down. Cunningham takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's looking over the middle. He'll fire deep. Does he have a man? He's wide open, and oh, he drops it! He had Josh Masick absolutely wide open on his own 31-yard line. If he caught that, he's probably walking into the end zone. Instead, it bounces off his chest, incomplete, and they're going to have to send out the punt unit. Oh, devastation for the Bulldogs, as this is now their 3rd punt of the ball game. And what a drop pass that is going to haunt Josh all day long. You know he's going to be just thinking about that drop pass over and over, unfortunately. So 9:50 remaining before halftime. And it's Matthews deep to return here for Fort Bend. It's a low bouncing snap. It's picked up by the punter. He's now looking to pass. He fires one over the middle, and then it's picked off. And he's finally stumbling all the way down to the 49-yard line. And in hindsight, he probably should have batted it down, as they would have taken over in Bulldog territory in the 40. But after the interception, it will now be a 1st and 10 here for Fort Bend, as they will take over on their own 49-yard line. So it was a bobbled punt that had to turn into a pass that ended up picked, as they usually do, right? So 9:37, and Fort Bend coming back out here, as Fort Bend so far to start the game had a punt, 76-yard touchdown, Harvey to Marshall, and then they recovered an onside kick on the 31-yard line of Nederland, but it ended up in a turnover on downs, and then their last outing also ended in a turnover on downs. So here's drive number 5 here for the Buffaloes, trying to see if they can get something going. Harvey dropping back to pass. He's got a little bit of pressure. He steps up into the pocket. He's now going to try to take off. Spins out of one tackler and then finally corralled down. It doesn't look like he gained anything as he makes it back to the line of scrimmage. So make it 2nd and 10, 9:22 and counting. So Harvey now waiting on his team to kind of get back to the line, as everybody is just casually walking back to the line of scrimmage, as there's 25 seconds and counting remaining on the play clock. Harvey barking out the orders now. He's got Matthews and Marshall over to his far right, and then he's got single coverage down here on the far left, and then 2 running backs split off to either side. It's a low snap. He's going to fire it over there to Matthews as a wide receiver screen. He's trying to get over to the outside. He makes a couple people miss, and then finally taken down right there at the 44. Check that, make the 46-yard line. as it is now going to be a 3rd and about 4 here for the Buffaloes. Check that, my apologies. So 8:30 and counting remaining before halftime. Harvey taking his time as they're swapping out some personnel on Fort Bend. And right now he's got Marshall over to his far right as he has been having a ball game here in the first half with a couple of catches. He's over the 100-yard mark easily. And now Harvey, 2 over to his left, 1 wide receiver to his right, 2 running backs split off to either side. And it's going to be a quick out over to Marshall. It's caught. He's got the first down and more. And then finally tripped up right there past the 40, almost to the 35. And it will be officially at the 37-yard line. So a gain of 12 moves the sticks. 1st and 10 here, 8 minutes and counting before halftime. So Harvey now putting everybody back up to the line. He's got 2 wide receivers over to his far left. Marshall comes off as he will head over to the sideline, just walking off a little bit of a gimp, but he looks to be fine. It's going to be a fake handoff, quarterback keeper. Flag comes flying in, so we will see what the flag is, but after that, it was a good gain of about 4 for Harvey on the quarterback keeper, but we will wait to see what the call is on the penalty here, as so far there's been no signals between the referees to dictate who this might be on, but it's going to be a holding against Fort Bend. So we're going to have to back it up 10 yards depending on where the hold came from, because the holding penalties do come from the spot of the foul of when the holding was occurred, and then from there you back it up 10. So they'll move it all the way officially to back past the 45 to the 47-yard line. So now it will be clock. It still remains first down, just now makes it 1st and 20 here for the Buffaloes with 7:35 and counting remaining before halftime. Harvey still taking time to signal in the play. He's finally got it. 2 wide receivers over to his left, 1 over to his far right. Takes the snap, dropping back to pass. He's going deep. Does he got a man? He's in tight coverage, and then, just too far out of the reach for White, and he's yelling over at the sideline as he wanted a pass interference call, but it looked to be good coverage by the Bulldogs. And now with the clock stopped at 7:19 after the incompletion, makes it 2nd and 20 with the ball on the 47-yard line. White on the team for receptions. Before this game, he only has 5 receptions for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's good for 4th in terms of touchdowns on the team. As again, Marshall now with 11 touchdown catches on the season, 600 yards plus. And then behind him is Matthews with 311, 20 catches and 5 touchdowns. So 2nd and 20, 7:19. Marshall set up in the shotgun. He sends a man in motion from the backfield, dropping back to pass. He's looking over to his left, still looking. He's going to fire deep. Does he got a running back? He does! And he's at the 5 and then ripped down right there at the 4-yard line. But just like that, the Buffaloes are now going to have 1st and goal after a bomb from Harvey to Fontenot. Puts them inside of the 5-yard line of the Bulldogs. It's going to be 1st and goal, and check that. They're going to make it at the 2-yard line after Fontenot with a 47-yard snag. Puts the Bulldogs in great territory, as now they're going to send out the big guns. It looks to be number 34, that's Wortham, and also number 25, McGowan. Still no Dudley, number 21. Not sure if he's injured or just not playing. Haven't got an official word on that. It's going to be a snap. It's going to be a handoff to McGowan. Lowering the shoulder. Is he in? And he is. And just like that, a 2-yard touchdown run by McGowan has the score 12-0 Buffaloes. Extra point still pending, as the previous extra point was missed wide right. So we will still wait on that. But the Buffaloes now have their 2nd touchdown on the game and drive number 5 after it was started off by a 47-yard pass from Harvey to Fontenot. Extra point still pending here as they are lining up. It's going to be still waiting on the snap here. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is through. So it pushes the score to 13-0 with 7:06 remaining before halftime. We'll see what the Bulldogs can do when we return here on VYPE Live.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Texas. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back into the ball game, everybody, here at beautiful Turner Stadium in Humble ISD, as it is Texas 5A Division II third round playoffs here on VYPE Live, as it is 13-0 Fort Bend Marshall after a 2-yard touchdown run by McGowan, as that now pushes him up on the season to 11 rushing touchdowns, and it was set up from a 47-yard pass, Harvey DeFontenot. And then McGowan doing what he does best, lowering the boom for a 2-yard TD. And he's still 4 behind Dudley for team lead. Another pooch kick that's angled over to the sideline. It's going to be fair caught this time, right there at the 32. So 7:06, clock didn't move on the fair catch. And trucking back out will be these Bulldogs, as they've been struggling a little bit on offense. And so far, this is drive number 4. But the previous drives were punt, and then a bobbled punt that the punter actually had to scramble, and it turned into an interception after it was a botched snap. He couldn't get the hold correctly, fumbled around the ground, picked it up, started scrambling, and then chucked it deep to his receiver. But unfortunately, it was to a Buffalo special teams player for the first turnover on the ball game. So trucking back out is Cunningham. It's going to be a jet sweep to his running back, Marsick, who then is now taken down to the 31-yard line. So a gain of about check that. It doesn't look like a gain of anything. So 2nd and 10, 6:50 and counting. And I want to thank everybody back at VYPE Live Studios, making sure that we look good, sound good. And my QA, Josh, Merle, Sunayak there. Appreciate you guys pitching in on this Saturday, the day after Christmas. Hopefully everybody had a blessed holiday and continue to do so here. As it's 6:30 remaining here before halftime. Cunningham will send a wide receiver in motion. Takes the snap. It's going to be an inside handoff to Marsick. He's trying to bounce to the outside, then finally corralled down. Maybe a gain of 1, so 3rd and 9. And it will push the ball up to the 32-yard line, 6:15. And the Bulldogs just trying to establish some sort of running game. But this Buffalo's defense, like we mentioned, only gave up 62 total points this entire season. I mean, 6 points per game, including playoff football. They didn't even give up their first set of points until game number 6. So they are somebody that not only averages 8 touchdowns per game on offense, but the defense is lights out as well. Dropping back to pass is Cunningham. He's looking. He's going to have to scramble facing heavy pressure. He's still scrambling, and then he'll just have to fling it out of bounds. Incomplete. Clock stops at 5:41. And so it now makes it 4th and 9, and it should send out the punt unit again, and does. So just like that, another 3 and out here forced by this Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes team. As the Buffaloes, they will have 1 interception on the day. It pushes that to 13 interceptions total on the season. No sacks so far, as they have 19.5. We'll round it for them, so 20 sacks on the season. They come in averaging about 51 tackles per game. So this just shows you how stout this Buffaloes defense is, as this is the reason for the Bulldogs' struggle. It's a good snap, good deep punt that's end over end. It gets caught up in the wind that's circulating up there. Nice job by Matthews getting underneath it and corralling it for Fort Bend, as it is fair caught exactly at the 40-yard line. So good position here for Harvey to take back over. He's got 5:33 remaining on the clock. They have 2 timeouts. They've only burned 1 here. All 3 timeouts remaining for Nederland, so they're still in good position if they can corral the ball back here. But Harvey now trucking back out, as he's looking to build off their last series, as it was a touchdown run, a 2-yard touchdown run by McGowan, his 11th on the season. So Harvey will set up in the shotgun. He's got a running back split off to his right, 2 wide receivers over to his far left, Marshall in single coverage on his far right, and then his tight end split off the line. And he'll send a man in motion, takes the snap. It's going to be an inside handoff. He's got good space up ahead. That's McGowan, and he's pushed up to the 45-yard line, so it should be a gain of 5 to make it 2nd and 5 with 5:20 and counting. So now Harvey set up, Still in that shotgun formation. He's got Matthews over down to his far left, and also the senior Williams, as they are stacked up, lined up behind each other. Marshall again in single coverage to the top right. And Harvey bobbles the snap. He's able to corral it, but it's a broken play, and then he is taken down for a loss on the play of 1. Nice job by Harvey just corralling that. It was a tough snap out of his reach. He had to reach over to his far left, bounced off the fingertips, and then had the wherewithal to realize that this play wasn't going to happen. Took off running, and nice defensive presence there from the Bulldogs, bringing them down for a loss of 1. So 3rd and 7, ball on the 43-yard line of Fort Bend with 4:35 and counting before halftime. So Harvey barking out the orders now here at the line, as he's got a running back off to his left, 2 to his right, 2 wide receivers over to his right, and 1 over to his far left. Sends a man in motion. He's dropping back to pass. He's looking over the middle. He's got a little bit of pressure. He rolls out of it. Everybody wants a hold on that. He's got enough for a first down past the 50 over to the 45, and it will be good enough for a first down. Doesn't look like any laundry's on the field, as that is going to have Bulldog fans irate, as it looked as Harvey was rolling out to his left. It looked like the left tackle there for the Buffaloes grabbed a lot of jersey of the pressure that was facing Harvey. No flag came out, allowed Harvey to shift back up the other side of the field as he scampered for a first down, and now the ball is inside of Bulldog territory as it is resting on the 45-yard line. Clock stopped with 4:11 after Harvey was able to get out of bounds. He'll take the snap. It's going to be a handoff jet sweep to McGowan. He spins out of a couple of tackles, and then flying is a flag. And this looks like it's going to be a holding that's going to go against Fort Bend. And we are still waiting on the call here from the referee as they are gathering to talk about this situation. As of right now, still waiting on the white hat here. It doesn't look to have any signals of what the call might be. It's going to be a holding against Fort Bend. And so far, I believe that is the 4th holding penalty against Fort Bend here in this first half. So can't afford that. So they're going to call it, I believe he said number 25, which would be McGowan. So a holding there by McGowan backs it up 10 to make it. So we will replay the down. So make it 1st and 16. Ball on the 49-yard line. So it pushes the ball out of Bulldog territory for now, as there's 4:01 remaining. Clock is now officially rolling. Harvey set up in the shotgun. He's got 2 wide receivers over to his far left, 1 over to his far left. He takes a snap. He's going to roll out to his right. Still looking deep. He's going to throw off balance to Marshall. And then good coverage there on the outside as they bat it away. And out comes a flag late from the back judge as he flung that all the way to the 30. Then he moves the flag up to the 35-yard line. And it's going to be a holding call as he's signaling to the white hat. Looks like a holding, but hasn't pointed against who. And I believe it's going to go against Marshall. And he is just not very happy. Still waiting here. The referees have a little bit of confusion now. The white hat is now gathering with the rest of the referees to talk about this, as they do not have a clear direction, as that was thrown by the back judge, who was located about the 20-yard line. It's going to be a holding against the Bulldogs here. So they're going to call defensive holding, as it was Marshall on the outside being held. So with this, it should be an automatic first down. And again, it's not a spot foul like it is in the pros, so it should just be a holding 1st and 10. And it should move the ball into Bulldog territory now. Yep, so White Hat just repeated everything I just told you there, holding on the defense, 10-yard penalty. So move it up. It goes inside of Bulldog territory, as it is now marked at the 41-yard line. So nice. So the penalties now starting to fly out here, as so far it was just Fort Bend picking them up on a lot of holding calls, but that is going to be a flag that's going to hurt the Bulldogs here. 1st and 10 after they had the Buffaloes in a 1st and 16. Snap here to Harvey. It's going to be an inside handoff to McGowan. Make a couple people miss. He's still chugging forward as he is pushed past the 40, past the 35, almost to the 30-yard line, taken down at the 32. So nice job by McGowan. It should be about a 2nd and 1 after a gain of 9 by McGowan.
So now the running game starting to come alive here for the Buffaloes, as right now the passing game has just been very much Harvey to Marshall, who is well over 100 yards and has one touchdown catch that was good for 76 yards. So 3:09 and counting remaining before halftime. Second and 1 here for Harvey. He sends a man in motion. He takes the snap. It's going to be an inside handoff back to McGowan, lowering the boom. He's got the first down and more as he's taken past the 30, almost to the 25. It will be right there at the 27. So 1st and 10 again here for the Buffaloes, as it's 2:50 and counting before half. Right now, Fort Bend not really in too much of a panic crisis here, as we are under 2:40, 20 seconds remaining on the play clock, and they still have both timeouts in their back pocket. Bulldogs have all 3 remaining for themselves. Wonder if they're going to burn any to try to possess any time to see if maybe they can get their offense back out there and sneak some quick points before halftime, as Bulldogs will get the ball. It's going to be a bobbled snap. It's picked up there by Harvey. He hands it off to McGowan, who lowers the boom for a couple of yards there. Should be about 3 yards to make it 2nd and 7, as it's now the ball's resting on the 20. Make that the 24-yard line. So 2:03 and counting, as we are now ticking officially under 2 minutes remaining before halftime. Harvey takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He'll fling one high over the head of Marshall, incomplete, as Marshall ran a quick out route, stopped at the first down marker, but Harvey sails one over his head, incomplete, stops the clock with 1:54. So 2nd and 10, ball resting on the 24-yard line. So it's still Fort Bend leading 13-0 over Nederland here, as they've had a 76-yard touchdown, Harvey to Marshall, and then a 2-yard touchdown run by McGowan. And that's been your only points here, as after that 76-yard Harvey to Marshall for the first touchdown of the game, the extra point was no good, and that is how we got to 13. And right now, Marshall trying to see if they can do some more, and then it's going to be a timeout by the Bulldogs. So we'll take one with them. 1:54 remaining before halftime. 13-0, Marshall leading with a 3rd and 7. Ball on the 24-yard line of the Bulldogs when we return here on VYPE Live.
You are the master of the multitask, the champion of making it happen. Taking care of business is not for the faint of heart. Still, you take care of it. Taking care of business. But who takes care of you? Office Depot Office Max. We supply you, copy you, and tune you up. Members get 2% back in rewards on everything, and we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank Nick Zion and the team at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land. Office Depot helps our team at VYPEFortBend.com take care of business every day, as we bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody. Brandon MacArthur with you on this beautiful Saturday afternoon for this Texas 5A Division II third-round playoffs between the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes, who come in 11-0, taking on the 9-2 Nederland Bulldogs, who right now are trailing again 13-0, with Buffaloes deep into their territory as they have the ball on the 24-yard line. It's 3rd and 7, and both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining in their back pocket. Harvey will trek back out here for the Buffaloes. He's set up in the shotgun formation. He has 2 wide receivers over to his far left, 1 over his far right, and he'll send Matthews in motion. Takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's looking deep. And then he's going to have to take off and run on this one. But the Bulldogs were ready as they bring him down back into the line of scrimmage. So gain of nothing now. And it brings up an interesting 4th down with 1:40 and counting. Surprised the Bulldogs aren't taking a timeout here to stop the clock. But regardless, they'll keep it going. It doesn't look like Fort Bend is going to send out the special teams unit, as right now Harvey is still standing out there, still looking over to the sideline. You have to think they might be rushing the clock down a little bit more, probably going to burn a timeout, and then possibly send out the special teams unit, as that's exactly what they're going to do here. There's 10 seconds remaining on the play clock, so once they stop it, the clock should be stopped right about a minute 3, minute 2 range, as they will take a timeout now, and it stops the clock with 1:03. So 1 minute, 3 seconds remaining before halftime. An interesting 4th down here for the Buffaloes when we return on VYPE Live.
VYPE Live, the leader in high school sports broadcasts.
Wait, hold on just a moment.
It's true that VYPE Live, formerly KMAX Sports, excels at high school sports broadcasts, but did you know that VYPE Live does more than sports? VYPE Live does band recitals, academic events. For more information on how VYPE Live can broadcast your event, email us at VYPE.com.
Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody. Brandon MacArthur with you here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon for Texas 5A Division II third-round playoffs, as it's a 4th and 7 here for the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes as they are deep inside of Nederland Bulldog territory. And there's 1:03 remaining before halftime. The offense is staying out there for Fort Bend. Harvey sends a man in motion. He takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's looking, still looking. He's going to fire over the middle, and it's caught by Marshall. And then he lowers the boom and makes it past the 10-yard line, taken down at the 8. 1st and 10 again here for the Buffaloes, as Marshall has just been eating this secondary up here, as he is well over 100 yards in the first half alone, and he comes off a little bit gimpy, so he'll be subbed out here quickly for the Buffaloes. 43 seconds and counting here. Harvey taking his time, setting everybody up at the line. He's got 2 over to his far right, 1 over into his far left, and it's going to be a handoff to McGowan. Makes a cut back up, but the Bulldogs were ready as they take him down, and it looks like it's a gain of nothing, so 2nd and goal, and Fort Bend is going to have to possibly take a timeout here, as there's just 20 seconds remaining here. Quickly setting up the offense. Harvey takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's going to fire it over to Matthews. And, Matthews almost made a brilliant one-handed snag in the corner of the end zone, but he was not able to corral it. Ball falls to the ground and stops with 12 seconds remaining. 3rd and 8 with the ball still resting on the 8-yard line. Check that. It's a 3rd and goal. So after Harvey on the incompletion here with 12 seconds, you still have 1 timeout remaining. So even if you don't punch it into the end zone, you have enough time to call a timeout. And whether you go for it or set up for the field goal, either way you'll have plenty of time for either decision. Harvey takes the snap. He's rolling out left. He's still looking. He's going to fire over to Matthews, and it's caught in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown. And just like that, it makes it 19-0. Extra point pending here for the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes. And that is going to be touchdown number 2 in the air here for Harvey, as it's an 8-yard TD pass. Harvey to Matthews. Extra point is up and true, so just like that, 20-0 here. Fort Bend leading with just 7 seconds remaining before halftime. You know they have to be absolutely stoked about that drive. So we will return here with this final 7 seconds before halftime here on VYPE Live.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody. Brandon MacArthur with you here at beautiful Turner Stadium, located in Humble ISD, as the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes were able to put up a quick touchdown strike to push it up to 20-0 here over the Nederland Bulldogs with just 7 seconds remaining here. There should be enough time for this kickoff, possibly depending on what's going to happen, maybe a play from the offense. Bulldogs will get the football when we return after halftime. It's going to be a deep-driven kick. Takes a bounce and will roll into the end zone, so no time will run off on the touchback as the Bulldogs will take over on their 25-yard line. They have 2 timeouts remaining, but you expect them to probably just take a knee, maybe do a handoff just to see if you can spring one, and then take it to the halftime down 3 scores here to Fort Bend, as Fort Bend again 11-0 on the season, and a very stout defense as they are
used to putting up shutouts, again, only allowing 6 points on average. Not even 6 points, actually under that. It's about 5.8 points per game in their 11 games. That includes the playoffs. In fact, Fort Bend didn't even give up their first set of points until game number 6, and they only allowed 6 points in that game. So Cunningham is going to send a man in motion. It will be a handoff to the running back Marzik, who then is driven down after a good gain. He's taken down at the 29-yard line, and the clock hits 0. So that's the end of the first half here at beautiful Turner Stadium, as right now it's been all Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes leading 20-0 over the Nederland Bulldogs. Second half action to return after this beautiful halftime presentation here on VYPE Live.
Tonight's the night. Santa's trusting us elves to take care of the North Pole while he delivers all the holiday goodies. Wooden ponies, dolls, Xfinity.
Xfinity?
It's only the awesomest internet ever. Naughty or nice, they let you pick the speed that's best for you with options faster than gig. And you get internet with top-notch coverage.
Did you make Xfinity, Dad?
No, but I made the wooden ponies.
I guess those are good too.
Enjoy fast, reliable internet and great coverage. Plus, advanced security is included at no extra cost with the X5 Gateway. Simply log in and activate through the Xfinity app. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Ask about our fastest speed, 2 gig up and down. Go online, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Ends 1/11/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet 25 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Hey, buddy, you say you wish someone was covering your favorite high school sports teams? You just couldn't make it to the game and you need to find out now what's going on? Well, my friend, your prayers are answered. Go to VYPE.com and hit Find Your School to see what VYPE is saying about your great community. See for yourself why VYPE is the leader in high school sports coverage in Texas. Check us out at VYPE.com. For high school sports coverage second to none, discriminating sports fans, booster clubs, and student bodies will tell you VYPE stands above the rest. VYPE can provide your school and your entire school district with complete digital video streaming and live broadcast coverage at prices that fit your budget. Find out more information at VYPE.com. VYPE.com.
First Tire and Automotive wants to remind you, with the hustle and bustle of shopping, cooking, and traveling this holiday season, it's important to make sure your vehicle is prepared as well. Drop in and take advantage of the Home for the Holidays Flush Package to ensure you travel safe wherever the season takes you and your family. The more you flush, the more you save. Visit the website for all the details on the Home for the Holidays special and call for an appointment today. Visit any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch, Katy. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
Tonight's the night. Santa's trusting us elves to take care of the North Pole while he delivers all the holiday goodies. Wooden ponies, dolls, Xfinity.
Xfinity?
It's only the awesomest internet ever. Naughty or nice, they let you pick the speed that's best for you with options faster than gig. And you get internet with top-notch coverage.
Did you make Xfinity, Dad?
No, but I made the wooden ponies.
I guess those are good too.
Enjoy fast, reliable internet and great coverage. Plus, advanced security is included at no extra cost with the XBI Gateway. Simply log in and activate through the Xfinity app. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Ask about our fastest speed, 2 gig up and down. Go online, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Ends 1/11/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet 25 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
Tonight's the night. Santa's trusting us elves to take care of the North Pole while he delivers all the holiday goodies. Wooden ponies, dolls, Xfinity.
Xfinity?
It's only the awesomest internet ever. Naughty or nice, they let you pick the speed that's best for you with options faster than gig. And you get internet with top-notch coverage.
Did you make Xfinity, Dad?
No, but I made the wooden ponies.
I guess those are good too.
Enjoy fast, reliable internet and great coverage. Plus, advanced security is included at no extra cost with the X5 Gateway. Simply log in and activate through the Xfinity app. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Ask about our fastest speed, 2 gig up and down. Go online, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Ends 1/11/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet 25 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
GetAGreatGig.com presents Gary Horn of HornSolutions.net on the most important factors in starting a business.
Number one, where will you get the necessary capital? 2, you will probably not make money for some period of time. Prepare a conservative model of expected cost and revenues. 3, are you willing to work long hours for no pay and make sure all employees are paid?
For more free career and job search advice, log on to GetAGreatGig.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn, CEO of Horn Solutions. Our team of experienced accounting, finance, and IT professionals have delivered solutions to Houston businesses for over 3 decades. Our project group provides services ranging from assisting with mergers, acquisitions, and integrations to interim staffing. Our executive search group provides full-time placements for accounting, finance, and IT positions. Let Horn Solutions help you meet the challenges your company faces. Visit hornsolutions.net.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Texas did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
Interested in becoming a licensed high school official? Go to highschoolofficials.com to learn more and begin the application process.
Hey, buddy, you say you wish someone was covering your favorite high school sports teams? You just couldn't make it to the game and you need to find out now what's going on? Well, my friend, your prayers are answered. Go to VYPE.com and hit Find Your School to see what VYPE is saying about your great community. See for yourself why VYPE is the leader in high school sports coverage in Texas. Check us out at VYPE.com.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Texas. This is sportsmanship. School sports. It's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
First Tire and Automotive wants to remind you, with the hustle and bustle of shopping, cooking, and traveling this holiday season, it's important to make sure your vehicle is prepared as well. Drop in and take advantage of the Home for the Holidays Flush Package to ensure you travel safe wherever the season takes you and your family. The more you flush, the more you save. Visit the website for all the details on the Home for the Holidays special and call for an appointment today. Visit any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch, Katy. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstTireandAuto.com.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Tonight's the night. Santa's trusting us elves to take care of the North Pole while he delivers all the holiday goodies. Wooden ponies, dolls, Xfinity.
Xfinity?
It's only the awesomest internet ever. Naughty or nice, they let you pick the speed that's best for you with options faster than gig. And you get internet with top-notch coverage.
Did you make Xfinity, Dad?
No, but I made the wooden ponies.
I guess those are good too.
Enjoy fast, reliable internet and great coverage. Plus, advanced security is included at no extra cost with the X5 Gateway. Simply log in and activate through the Xfinity app. Get started with Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Ask about our fastest speed, 2 gig up and down. Go online, call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Ends 1/11/21. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet 25 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary.
This presentation of Fort Bend ISD Playoff Football on VYPE-FortBend.com is brought to you today by Xfinity with the X1 Sports app. Get up-to-minute scores, stats, and standings right on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity One. And also, welcome back into the broadcast, everybody. Brandon MacArthur here with you for some second-half action here as Fort Bend Marshall is kicking off here to the Nederland Bulldogs. They will call for a fair catch right there about the 29-yard line. We'll see if officially this spot, as it has been all Fort Bend here in this first half, especially as they have been leading 20-0 after. Let's run through their offense here and their offensive drives in the first half. Their first drive was a punt. Second drive was a 76-yard touchdown Harvey to Marshall. And then the third one was a turnover on downs. The fourth one was a turnover on downs. The fifth one was a 2-yard touchdown run by McGowan. And then their last drive was an 8-yard touchdown strike, Harvey to Matthews, with 7 seconds remaining before the end of the first half. On the other side has been a struggle here for the Bulldogs. Punt, interception, punt. And it's going to be an inside handoff to Josh Marzik, who is then scampering ahead for the Bulldogs for about a gain of 3 yards to make it 2nd and 7 here to start the third quarter. And again, just want to tell everybody thank you again for tuning in, and also just want to make sure everybody knows that don't miss the 5A and 6A UIL football state championships in January. For more information, visit uiltexas.org. 2nd and 7. Cunningham set up in the shotgun. It's going to be a handoff to Marzik, who's trying to bust it out to the outside, but runs into a slew of Buffalo tacklers. It might be good enough for maybe one right there to make it 3rd and about 7 here for the Bulldogs as they have the ball resting right there about the 34-yard line. I want to thank everybody back in the VYPE studios, Josh, Myrtle, Suna, making sure we look good, sound good. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday and had a very blessed holiday yesterday. As today, it is a beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Turner Stadium in Humble ISD, as we could not ask for a better scenario here for this Texas 5A Division II third-round playoff game. Cunningham's going to fire over the middle. He's got a receiver. It's caught. He's dragged down almost to the 35-yard line, make it the 36-yard line, and it will be a 1st and 10 here for the Bulldogs. Move the sticks. Very needed after a beautiful reception by number 2, Lance Nicolorosora, the 5'11", 155-pound senior wide receiver / outside linebacker for the Bulldogs. So nice completion there, and it moves the sticks again here for the Bulldogs to make it 1st and 10. Ball on the 44-yard line as they are still trying to inch into Marshall territory. And thinking back on it, I don't believe they entered Marshall territory at all in the first half. So Cunningham takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Marzik. He's rolling out in the pocket. Now he's going to fire over the middle, and oh man, that was some dangerous territory as it was almost picked off by the defense there for the Buffaloes. And luckily for Cunningham, it sailed through the defender's hands, incomplete. So clock stops at 9:54 remaining here in the third quarter. 2nd and 10, ball still resting on the Bulldog 44-yard line. Couple substitutions being made here
for the Bulldogs as number 4 running out onto the field. Unfortunately, he's not written down on my roster here, so Ghostman checks into the ball game here for the Bulldogs. Taking a long time looking over at that sideline. There's still 15 seconds left on the play clock here, as now they've got the call that they want. Cunningham, he's got trips over to his far left and a single coverage down on his far right, and a running back split off to his right. He's dropping back to pass. He's going to fire it over the middle, and ooh, he had wide receiver. He had Lance, but unfortunately threw that ball into the dirt, and he wasn't able to scoop that one up, so another incompletion. Clock stops, 9:47, 3rd and 10 here for the Bulldogs, as they are still resting on their 44-yard line. So right now, Bulldogs are set up. They have 3 wide receivers over to the far left, 1 wide receiver over to their far right in single coverage. And then it looks like it's the tight end split off to the right of the quarterback, as that is Mason Beresford. Dropping back to pass. It's going to be a halfback screen, and it's going to be incomplete off the hands. And clock will stop with 9:42, 4th and 10. And it looks like here comes the special teams unit for Nederland, and it will be. So another punt here. Not what you want to do if you're the Bulldogs starting off with a punt. This will now be their 4th punt of the day. The 1 interception did come when they were in punt formation. The punter he took a low snap, picked the ball up off the ground, and then he just had to chuck it deep, but unfortunately it was right to a Buffalo defender. So every drive has ended in at least a punt here. And it's going to be a good one as Matthews racing underneath it. He's caught it about the 25-yard line to the 35. Makes a juke, cuts back out to the outside, then finally shoved out of bounds at the 39-yard line. So trekking out will be Harvey and the Buffaloes, as they have been a high-powered offense. And again, I'm going to keep referencing this. This team coming in before this game had a total of 72 touchdowns on the season. They're averaging 8 touchdowns per game. And again, the defense absolutely stout, as they have only allowed a total of 62 points. That includes the playoffs and including today. And they didn't give up their first set of points until game number 6, when they won it 62-6. So this defense not only stout, but the offense can put up some numbers as well, coming in averaging about 152 yards in the air and 248 on the ground. And speaking of which, it's going to be a handoff to McGowan. He makes a couple people miss, gets into the secondary, spins out of another tackle, then finally brought down past the 50-yard line, almost to the 49, and they will mark it officially at the 50-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes after McGowan picks up 11. So McGowan, he's got a rushing touchdown on the season, including 11 touchdowns total. And again, that's second to Dudley, who we have not seen today. Throwing over the middle to Marshall, and oh, it hits Marshall right in the stomach, and he drops it. Marshall has been absolutely deadly here for Fort Bend, as in the first half he is well over 100 yards, including a touchdown. And it came on the second series here for Fort Bend when it was a 76-yard bomb, Harvey to Marshall. And Marshall, that is his actually second drop pass. He had one early in the first quarter, and then after that he went off. So let's see if he's going to do the same thing here in this second half. Drops a pass and then ends up putting up huge yards. So 2nd and 10, 9:01 clock stopped after the incompletion. Ball still resting on the 50. Harvey sends a man in motion. He'll take the snap. It's going to be a handoff to McGowan. He's met by a couple of Bulldogs right there at the line. They're going to drag him back for a loss of 2 on the play. So now makes it 3rd and long here, 3rd and 12 for the Buffaloes, and they get shoved back into their territory right there on the 48-yard line. So let's see. These Buffaloes, when they've been facing 3rd and long, have been extremely dangerous. In fact, that 76-yard touchdown came on a 3rd and 19, and it was an absolute bomb all the way out there to Marshall, who then had a defender ahead of him and was able to sneak it into the pylon, and that was for the first score of the ball game. But right now, here again, Buffalo's facing a 3rd and 12, 8:18 clock still rolling. There's 6 seconds left on the play clock. Harvey finally has it in. He takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's looking over the middle, stepping up in the pocket. He's got some room to run, and he's going to take off past the 40, past the 35, makes a juke, and then finally taken down right there at the 30-yard line. Make that the 29-yard line. So 1st and 10 here for the Buffaloes after a huge run from Harvey for almost 20 yards as he moves the sticks and pushes the ball deep into Bulldog territory. That's the thing about Harvey. Not only does he have a gun on the season, he's got 20 touchdowns to 1 interception. But as well as on the ground, he's got 2 touchdowns rushing and over 247 yards, and that was before those couple of carries this ball game. And again, the offense here just doesn't turn the ball over. In fact, they only have 2 interceptions to 23 touchdown passes. Absolutely nuts. And it's going to be a handoff to McGowan, getting to the outside, stiff-arming some people on his way, and then finally shoved out as he crosses the 25 down to the 23. So solid pickup there from McGowan, as he is going to be about a 2nd and 4 here for Buffaloes. 7:25 in the third quarter. And the Bulldogs are going to have to get a stop here, trying to force either a turnover or get something going if they can try to get back into this ballgame, especially down 3 scores. You can't afford to go down 4 to this Fort Bend Marshall team. Harvey has the play call now. He's got trips over to his left, and then a running back, McGowan, split off to his left as well. Takes the snap, and it's going to be a wide receiver screen over to Matthews. It's too high. He's bobbling it around, and then they're going to still play on. So I guess they're saying the pass was thrown behind the line of scrimmage because Matthews bobbled it. It hit the ground. He picked it back up. He didn't hear a whistle, so he had the heads-up play to just start running around with it. But nice job by the Bulldogs to bring him down for a huge loss as it pushes it now to about 3rd and 7, maybe even 3rd and 8, so a loss of about 4 on the play for Fort Bend. Backs him up all the way almost past the 25 down to the 27. So now 3rd and 8, 6:45 and counting. Harvey, he's got everybody to jump. And then finally they throw in the flags. Let's see who this is going to be on. Did an offensive lineman jump first? Or did the defense do it? We listen into the white hat for this call here, as he is going to signal that it was a false start against the offense. So back it up another 5 yards. It's going to make it 3rd and 13 with the ball now on the 28-yard line of the Bulldogs. 6:40 stopped on the clock here in the third quarter. So penalties were an issue for Fort Bend in the first half after they got over 4 holding penalties. And now here in the second half, picking up a couple that just keeps sending them back after the false start against the offense. Now again, 3rd and 8. Clock is now rolling as we are under 6:30 to play in the third quarter. Dropping back to pass is Harvey. He's looking over to his left. He's going to fire over the middle. And he had Marshall for a split second. But Marshall got some gator arms going over the middle there as he heard some footsteps. The ball sails incomplete and falls to the ground. So now 4th and 8, 6:22 clock stops. And this sets up an interesting situation for Fort Bend. As of right now, Harvey is staying on the field. And it looks like they're going to keep the offense out there to go for it on a 4th and 8 deep into Bulldog territory. So they're still looking over at the sideline. They reset the play clock here, so it's still stopped at 25 seconds. And it looks like Fort Bend's going to go for it, so they're keeping the personnel out there. You're going to have 2 wide receivers set up to your far right, and then Matthews in the single coverage down here to the far left, and then McGowan split off to the right of Harvey. So 6:22 remaining here in the third. They're going to send Matthews in motion. Takes the snap. It's a high snap, but it's corralled down by Harvey. He's looking over the middle. He's going to fire it towards Marshall. And then, too high as he tried to climb the ladder to go get it. Ball falls incomplete. So turnover on downs, and that was huge for the Bulldogs, as now they will take over 1st and 10. Ball resting nicely at their 28-yard line. Let's see what they can do to try to make some noise and get some points, as that is exactly what they needed. So nice job by the defense to bend, not break, and force a turnover and downs. In fact, for the Fort Bend, that is their 3rd turnover on downs in this ball game. And now out trots Cunningham, seeing if he can get some life into this offense and finally get on that board to make this as a ball game. As this Fort Bend defense has just been playing lights out in terms of strong coverage. Everybody's flying into their gaps and just really haven't allowed the Bulldogs to catch a rhythm. So far they have 3 wide receivers set up to the far left and single coverage down here on the far right. It's going to be a snap. They're going to screen it out to Marzik, who gets a nice block on the outside. He gets past the 35 and then taken down almost to the 40 as he is down at the 37-yard line. So a beautiful block out there on the outside set up by the Bulldogs that allowed Marzik to spring out for a good gain of about 6. Make that 7, so it's going to be 2nd and 3 with the ball on the 38-yard line of the Bulldogs. So it's taking some time looking in to get the play. There's still 20 seconds left on the play clock, so still plenty of time here for the Bulldogs. Cunningham has what he wants. He barks it out to the offensive line. Now circling back or looking over at the coach to make some adjustments. 3 wide receivers on the far right, single coverage on the far left, and the tight end split off the line. It's going to be a bobbled snap there by Cunningham, but he's able to corral it. Takes off running on his own. It's going to be a gain of 1, maybe just a couple of inches there. Yep, they'll give him the yard. So 3rd and about 2, maybe even a long 2, maybe even 3 here for the Bulldogs, as they are creeping closer to the 40-yard line as it's on the 39. So 3rd and 3 as we are 5:05 remaining here in the third quarter. Cunningham still looking over to the sideline to get the play call. And it will be same formation as last time. 3 wide receivers off to the right, single coverage to the far left, and then the tight end / running back split off from the line. And this time they're going to move him back further to Cunningham, so he is directly off to his right. Cunningham takes a snap. He's going to roll the pocket. He's looking down the field, still looking. Patting the football, fires over the middle to Marsick. It's caught. Is it good enough for the first down? I don't know. I think he's just shy as he caught it, got past the 40, into the 41, and yeah, they're only going to give him a yard there, so it's going to be 4th down. Clock stops as he got out of bounds. So 4th and about 1 here for the Bulldogs, and it's looking like they're going to keep the offense out there. So a nice gamble here for the Bulldogs as they have the ball past the 40-yard line. In fact, they have it marked on the 40-yard line of the Bulldogs here. So 4:38 remaining in the third quarter. 4th and 3. No, wait, that can't be 4th and 3. It has to be about 4th and 1 here for the Bulldogs. That's wrong on the board. Takes the snap. He's going to quarterback keeper at Cunningham. He's going to run out further in the back. He's trying to spin out and then met immediately in the backfield. And it's going to be taken down for a loss as the Buffaloes were ready for the quarterback keeper. And it's going to be a turnover on downs and a big one as now the Buffaloes will take over inside of Bulldog territory. Not sure what they wanted to do there on that quarterback keeper, as it was Cunningham trying to run it off to the left side, getting some blocking, but credit to those Fort Bend linebackers just shooting the gaps, closing everything down, and bringing down Cunningham for a tackle for a loss. And out trots Harvey now, seeing if he can make them pay after their last drive ended in a turnover on downs themselves. They have the ball resting on the 40-yard line of the Bulldogs. With 4:29, both teams still have all their timeouts remaining, as the board has not reset that. Harvey takes a snap, dropping back to pass. He's looking deep for Marshall. He's in single coverage. Does he have him? And oh, baby! What a highlight play as Marshall, one-handed, snags it, walks into the end zone, outflies the flags as he is going to get excessive celebration for taking off his helmet. But we are looking at the replay on the big board, and he literally stuck out a paw in single coverage. It stuck right there in his hand, walks into the end zone, touchdown. Oh, man, wherever you are, I know you're listening into this on VYPE Live, but if you can find somewhere for that highlight, somewhere in this world, there is a Sports Center theme song playing after Marshall, with his second touchdown of the game, a 40-yard bomb, makes it 26-0. And so they're still waiting for the extra point here as they line it up, as Harvey now has his 3rd touchdown in the air, 2nd to Marshall, and just in touchdown catches alone, Marshall has 2 touchdown catches for 116 yards, as he has just been a problem here for the Bulldogs secondary. It's a high snap. It's going to be picked up here from the holder, and he's going to take off and scamper into the end zone, and it's good. And so on a botched snap, the holder has the wherewithal to pick the football off the turf, scamper around, and then goes into the end zone. 2-point conversion good. And now it makes it 28-0, 4:21 remaining in the third quarter when we return here on VYPE Live.
The most important team member isn't always playing in the game. Sometimes they hold a clipboard on the sideline. A good coach doesn't just call plays. They instill confidence in the individual and help the team overcome adversity. At Frost, we believe that good coaching in your financial life can accomplish the same thing. After all, if we believe in you and you believe in you, anything is possible. Frost. Opt for optimism.
Welcome back to the ball game, everybody. Brandon MacArthur here at beautiful Turner Stadium in Humble ISD for this Texas 5A Division II third-round playoffs as the 11-0 Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes are taking on the 9-2 Nederland Bulldogs. And right now, it has been all Buffaloes leading 28-0 here with 4:21 remaining in the third quarter after a 40-yard touchdown bomb. Harvey to Marshall, hooking up for the second time in the ball game, first time in this half. And it has been a doozy of a catch there from Marshall, as that one will be put up on all their highlight reels after a fantastic one-handed snag. He went a little excessive on the celebration, so the Buffaloes are having to kick off on their own 25-yard line. It's a deep kick that rolls all the way down to the 5, finally picked up by the Bulldogs, and then taken down past the 15 at the 16-yard line. So Buffaloes kicked off from their own 25-yard line. It was prime position for the Bulldogs to have excellent field position, but instead the kickoff takes a wicked hop, goes past the returner. He was finally able to scoop it right there about the 6-yard line and then brings it up to the 15 before he's finally taken down. So just when it can't get any worse for the Bulldogs, it seems to somehow happen, as now it will be 1st and 10, ball on the 16-yard line, 4:14 remaining here in the third quarter, as Cunningham will run back out to try to see what they can do. And currently there's a delay right now because there's a man down on the side. It looks to be a Buffalo who's injured. He's lying right there at the 15-yard line. They're checking on him. He's moving around and everything as he is now finally rising to his feet, so that's a good sign to see. Hopefully it was just a stinger, but they are still tending to him. He's not on the field to play, so everybody's out there lined up ready to go, and the injured Buffalo is now up on his own 2 feet, walking off, and he's looking to be okay right now, fist bumping everybody. So nice to see that he's recovered and well. So 1st and 10 here for Cunningham and the Bulldogs on their own 16-yard line, down 4 scores with 4:14 remaining in the third quarter. If you're going to try to make it and move on in this playoffs, you got to get started right now. He's taking a snap. He's looking over to his left. He fires, and then it's bobbled around by the tight end, and finally blown up in the backfield as it goes incomplete. What a hit there by the defense of the Buffaloes, as they are now flying around laying the lumber here in this third quarter, and they are absolutely jacked up down there, feeling it, and that sideline is exploding too. And there is a lot to cheer about here for these Buffaloes, as they have had it going on today. Offense, defense, doesn't matter. They have just been making it rain here, and the Bulldogs trying to see what they can do to combat this here. Cunningham, he's got 3 wide receivers off to his right, 1 over to his far left, and his running back split off to his right as well. Takes the snap. He's dropping back to pass. He's looking over the middle, still looking, and then finally flags fly in. Rolling out of the pocket, he's got a man, and then he stumbles and falls forward past the 21. And as of right now, he's about 9 yards short of the stick, but we're still waiting for the official call, as there are several flags right there lying on the 4-yard line of the Bulldogs, and we're still waiting on the white hat to give us his call here, as he is now going to his microphone, and it is a holding against the Bulldogs. So that's going to back it up even more, as it will push it all the way back down to the 8-yard line of Nederland to make it 1st and forever, as we replay the down with 3:55 and counting here remaining in the third quarter. So now Cunningham still waiting on the play call here. He finally barked it out to the offensive lineman up in front of him. He's got trips over to his far left and single coverage down here on his far right, and his running back split off to his right as well. Cunningham takes the snap, fakes it, then he's going to fire out to the wide receiver, who's immediately blown up and incomplete. Oh, baby, these corners are really laying the lumber now for the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes, as it falls incomplete. Clock stops at 3:32 to make it 3rd and 10. No, that can't be right. The board doesn't have that correct. It should be 3rd down and about 20 here for the Bulldogs, as they have to make it up to the 26-yard line, so they got to get a gain of 16 here for a first down. So, barking out the orders is Cunningham. He's set up in the shotgun, takes the snap, dropping back to pass. He's still looking, has to scamper out of it, and the Bulldogs are going to get a safety. Nope, the ball popped loose, and it's picked up by Fort Bend and touchdown. And just when it can't get any worse, Cunningham fumbles it in the end zone, and it's scooped up by the Buffaloes for a defensive touchdown. And now it's 34-0, 3:21 extra point pending. And what a play for the we'll round up the 21st sack on the season for the Buffaloes, turns into a touchdown. So 34-0, extra point still pending, and it's just getting worse here for the Bulldogs. And they're still waiting on the extra point here. It's taking a long time, as now Fort Bend had a man sub on very late. There's 11 seconds and counting on the play clock. And it's a good snap, good kick, and flies up and true through the uprights. 35-0, Fort Bend leading Nederland when we return here on VYPE Live.
VYPE Live, the leader in high school sports broadcasts. Wait, hold on just a moment. It's true that VYPE Live, formerly KMAX Sports, excels at high school sports broadcasts, but did you know that VYPE Live does more than sports? VYPE Live does band recitals, academic events. For more information on how VYPE Live can broadcast your event, email us at VYPE.com.
Welcome back into the ball game, everybody. Brandon MacArthur along with you on this beautiful Saturday for Texas 5A Division II third-round playoffs between the 11-0 Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes and the 9-2 Nederland Bulldogs. And today, it has been the Buffaloes' day as they lead 35-0 with 3:21 remaining here in the third quarter after a fumble in the end zone by the Bulldogs was recovered by the Buffaloes, and that's how we made it to 35. And right now it's going to be a kickoff that's pooched towards the 20. It's caught at the 21, and here come the Bulldogs trying to see if they can pick up some blocking, and then it's corralled down by the special teams unit as they blow them up right there at the 21-yard line. So out trots Cunningham and these Bulldogs again, seeing if they can get anything going here on offense, as it's been very tough to get the running game going, to get the passing game going. These Buffaloes have been ready today, and they have been playing stout as they have 2 turnovers on the day. One was an interception that was thrown by the punter on a botched punt by the Bulldogs. And then just recently when Cunningham fumbled into the end zone, scooped up and scored here by the Buffaloes for their 21st sack on the season. And they are leading 35-0 again. This Buffalo team averages 8 touchdowns per game. They already have 5 on the day. They have all their timeouts. Both teams still have all their timeouts remaining. And we still have a little bit more to play in this third and all of the fourth quarter. Flag comes flying in. It looks like it's going to be a delay of game against the Bulldogs. Not what you need coming out of a kickoff. And that's going to back them up another 5 yards. And right now, the Bulldogs, they played a pretty clean first half. In fact, I believe they only had 1 infraction go against them. And it was late in the second quarter when they picked up that flag. But now here, they had a flag on their previous drive for holding. And then now, the delay of game, so back it up 5 yards. 1st and 15. Ball resting on the 16-yard line of the Bulldogs. Cunningham takes the snap. It's going to be an inside handoff to his running back, who then is just immediately met by the Fort Bend front defensive pressure, and they're still pushing him around. Marsick stayed on his feet, and then, in comes a flag, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be a taunting call against Fort Bend, as they have been racking up the penalties. If there's one knock against this Fort Bend team, it's the amount of penalties they have gotten. They've had several, and it's unsportsmanlike conduct against Fort Bend. So that will be automatic first down here for the Bulldogs. Push it up 15 yards. So they should have the ball in their 31-yard line with the 1st and 10. After Fort Bend just had the Bulldogs stuffed, they've just got a little too excited, a little too chirpy, as that is now the second unsportsmanlike conduct just this half against Buffaloes, as they had one from Marshall after his 40-yard brilliant one-handed touchdown snag. He had one for taking off his helmet for excessive celebration. And then just right there on the tackle for a loss against the Bulldogs, I guess they probably said something that caught the referee's ear,
Flag came out, and that's how we're here at 1st and 10. Ball in the 31, 2:35 and counting here in the third quarter. Dropping back to pass is Cunningham. He's looking, still looking. He's going to have to start rolling out a little bit more. Finally fires it over the middle. It's caught, and he's taken down right there at the 25. Make it the 36-yard line. Ball came loose. Are they saying it's going to be Fort Bend ball? And they are. Oh, baby. Fort Bend gets it on the fumble recovery again after they laid a lick on the tight end who scooped it. And then he finally was smacked down past the 35. Ball popped loose. Fort Bend is on it, and they are going to take over deep into Nederland territory. So back-to-back drives here for the Bulldogs as they have 2 fumbles. One was a touchdown, and now this one recovered right there on the 36-yard line. So trotting back out will be Harvey again. Check that. I don't think that is Harvey in the backfield. I believe that is Banks. They're going to send a wide receiver in motion, take the snap. It's going to be a handoff. Nope, it's quarterback keeper. Running out to the outside, that is Banks. Banks making a couple people miss. He's down the sideline and then finally shoved out of bounds, but a slew of flags are thrown all over the field here. So there's probably going to be a holding against the Buffaloes to bring that back. And judging by the personnel that's on the field here for Fort Bend, I think the first team starters are going to be done for the day, as there is no Harvey, there is no Marshall, and instead down on the field we have the sophomore Banks, and then in the backfield now we have Dudley, the junior, who we are finally seeing, and it is going to be a hold against the Buffaloes, so it backs it all the way up to the 45-yard line to make it a 1st and 20 now. Ball on the 45, 2:06 and counting here in the third quarter. So now let's see what this sophomore can do. Banks, again, we highlighted him to start. He's 10 of 15 for 169 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. It's going to be a handoff to Dudley. He's lowering the boom, pushes everybody forward, and he's taken down before the 40-yard line, right there about the 39-yard line. So solid game there by Dudley. As Dudley, again, he's the team leading rusher. He's coming in on the season, 33 carries, 487 yards, 15 rushing touchdowns, and we are just now seeing him check into the ball game. And the one that's second behind him is McGowan, who's got a touchdown on the day and 11 on the season. Dropping back to pass is Banks. He's going to fire it deep. That's way too ahead of his receiver as it sails into the end zone, incomplete. And it will make it now 3rd and 15. Clock stops with 1:15 remaining here in the third quarter. So Banks, he was firing that out there to his wide receiver. I believe that was number 13. That's Misher, the sophomore. And Misher on the season, he has 8 receptions for 138 yards. 138 touchdowns would be a heck of a season. But 138 yards and only 1 touchdown grab on the year as he was looking. This team coming in, though, after the touchdown passes from Harvey, has now put him up to 25 total touchdowns in the air. Banks dropping back to pass. He's looking over the middle. He's going to sail another one deep, but this one's way ahead of his receiver again. And nice job by Dudley turning into a defensive back as he was able to break up the interception. And so ball sails incomplete, 4th and 15 with 1:05, but there is a flag in the backfield here. And we're going to see who this is going to be against. If it's against Fort Bend, you have to think the Bulldogs are going to decline it to make it 4th and 15. And we're still waiting on the white hat to make his call. It's going to be a personal foul, roughing the passer against the Bulldogs. And not what you need, because that is an automatic first down. So you had the Buffaloes set up in a 4th and 15. And then a personal foul, roughing the passer. Automatic first down, 15 yards tacked onto that. And now the Buffaloes take over on the Bulldogs' 27-yard line, 1st and 10 with 1:05. Banks sends a man in motion, and he's going to keep it himself. He's up the middle, makes it a couple people miss. He's still on his feet, and then finally thrown down past the 15 at the 14-yard line. And look at Banks scoot. This kid can definitely take off running as well.
as Banks on the season rushing. Before that carry, it was 18 carries for 239 yards, and he himself has 4 rushing touchdowns as well. So on the season, Banks has 4 in the air, 4 on the ground, so 8 touchdowns and only 1 interception. This team just does not turn the ball over, and yet also create a chaos of turnovers. Banks set up in the shotgun, now 2 receivers on either side of the ball. It's going to be a handoff to Dudley. Makes a couple people miss. He's getting to the outside, makes another cut, and then Dudley will walk into the end zone for touchdown number 16 on the season. And it now moves the score up to 41-0 after Dudley now getting on the board with an 18-yard TD rush. Dudley, touchdown number 16 on the season. And let's see how many that is for the Bulldogs rushing, as now they have 48 rushing touchdowns on the season. And it's now 41-0 with 16 seconds remaining and extra points still pending as well. Good snap, good hold, kick is up and true. So 42-0, 16 seconds remaining here in the third quarter when we return on VYPE Live.
Hey, buddy, you say you wish someone was covering your favorite high school sports teams? You just couldn't make it to the game and you need to find out now what's going on? Well, my friend, your prayers are answered. Go to VYPE.com and hit Find Your School to see what VYPE is saying about your great community. See for yourself why VYPE is the leader in high school sports coverage in Texas. Check us out at VYPE.com.
Say UIL Football State Championships in January. For more information, visit UILTexas.org. Welcome back into the ball game, everybody. Brandon MacArthur with you on this Saturday afternoon. Texas 5A Division II third-round playoff game between the 11-0 Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes and the 9-2 Nederland Bulldogs. And it has been all Buffaloes, especially here in the second half, as they now lead 42-0. With 16 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and it will be Buffaloes kicking off after the 18-yard touchdown run by Dudley. It's a high kick that's caught at the 20-yard line, makes a couple people miss, then finally push and pass all the way up to the 30-yard line, so solid return there for the Bulldogs as there's 8 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and Cunningham will run back out there for the Bulldogs. It hasn't been a great second half here for the Bulldogs, as they have had 4 offensive drives: punt, turnover on downs, a fumble that resulted in a Fort Bend touchdown, and then a fumble that Fort Bend was able to recover on the Bulldogs' 36-yard line, which led to an 18-yard touchdown rush by Dudley, and again his 16th on the ground this season, and he didn't even start the ballgame. Sends a man in motion. Cunningham has 2 wide receivers off to his right. It's going to be a handoff to Marzik, who's then lowering the boom and then finally taken down past the 30, right there at the 31. And so it's going to be a gain of about 1, maybe 2 on the play to make it 2nd and 8. And the clock hits 0 here. So that brings us to the end of the third quarter. And we will head to the fourth, as right now it is Fort Bend absolutely hammering home the Nederland Bulldogs 42-0 when we return here on VYPE Live for the remaining fourth quarter.
You are the master of the multitask, the champion of making it happen. Taking care of business is not for the faint of heart. Still, you take care of it. Taking care of business. But who takes care of you? Office Depot Office Max. We supply you, copy you, and tune you up. Members get 2% back in rewards on everything, and we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
We want to thank Nick Sion and the team at Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace and Sugarland. Office Depot helps our team at VYPEFortBend.com take care of business every day as we bring you Fort Bend County sports every week. This presentation of Fort Bend ISD playoff football on VYPEFortBend.com is brought to you today by Xfinity. With the X1 Sports app, get up to the minute scores, stats, and standings right on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity One. Welcome back into the broadcast, everybody. Brandon MacArthur with you on this beautiful Saturday, Texas 5A Division II third-round playoffs, as the Buffaloes are taking care of the Bulldogs right now. 42-0 as we're going to start this fourth quarter. It's a 2nd and 8 here for the Bulldogs. They have the ball on their 31-yard line. Cunningham barking orders up at the front line. He's got 2 wide receivers set up to his far right, 1 over in single coverage to his left. He sends his man in motion, and then he tries to throw out a wide receiver screen. It's caught, then swung and flung down right there at the 35-yard line. So solid pickup there for the Bulldogs to make it about a 2nd and 4. So pick up about 6 yards. Check that, make it a 3rd and about 4. So pick up about 4 yards, as now we are under 11:40 in the ballgame. Both teams have all their timeouts remaining, as the Bulldogs here are now just going to try to see if they can salvage some points here. As this first half, it was interesting, but this Fort Bend Marshall team was just too much to handle, and this defense is putting up another shutout. I will check again here. I believe that is going to be their 8th shutout on the season. Cunningham hands it off to Marzik, cuts back up the middle, and then finally taken down past the first down marker as he makes it to the 40-yard line. So move the sticks here, and it will be 1st and 10 here for Nederland. And yes, I was correct. This will be, if Fort Bend can hold, the 8th shutout on the season. This is their 12th game, just to put that in context for you, as they are not only just dominant on the offensive side, the defense just doesn't allow you to breathe. And the Bulldogs dropping back to pass here. It's going to Cunningham, slings it over the middle. Does he got a man? And no, it falls incomplete as he sails it over the receiver's head. And it will be 10:36, clock stops after the incompletion. 2nd and 10, ball still on the 40-yard line. And there's a flag in the backfield, and it looks like it's going to be a holding, as it was thrown by the head referee in the far backfield. As there was a flag on the 25, he's picked it up, and they're going to back it up. So it's going to be a holding against the Bulldogs. And again, the penalties just plaguing the Bulldogs here in the second half, as that will make it all the way back to the 30-yard line. So instead, it should... The board and the yard marker have mixed signals there. I think it is going to be a 1st and 20 after the incompletion, because they have to replay the down. Ball's resting there on the 30-yard line. So 1st and 20, 10:36, ball on the 30-yard line of the Bulldogs. Cunningham set up in the shotgun, takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Marzik. He's bouncing out to the outside, then spins into a couple of tacklers, brought down almost to the 35 at the 34. So still 2nd and very long here for the Bulldogs. 6 total touchdowns here from Fort Bend. I've been mentioning this several times. They have 8 touchdowns per game is what they average. They come in now with the 6 touchdowns. It moves them up to 78 total TDs on the year. Again, my apologies. They have 25 rushing touchdowns, 48. Sorry, it's reversed. 48 rushing touchdowns, 25 passing touchdowns. Cunningham sends his running back in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Marzik. He tries a jet sweep, but then he's met in the backfield for a tackle for a loss, as this Fort Bend team was not fooled on the misdirection play. So now 3rd and forever here for the Bulldogs, as we are under 9:35 and counting in the ball game. And it's going to be, they're going to have to get it to the 50-yard line just to pick up a 1st down. So they need 16 yards here in the air or on the ground just to pick up a 1st down here. As, again, I don't believe the Bulldogs have been inside of the Buffalo territory. Cunningham, he's got 3 wide receivers off to his right. Dropping back to pass. Still looking. He's going to fire over deep, and it's going to be picked off to the 30, 15, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. And a pick 6. The 14th interception is returned to the house, and it makes it now 48-0. Buffalo's really making it rain now. So now pushes the score to a 7-score ball game. Extra points still pending, as that is now the 2nd interception on the day. First one returned for a touchdown. And in fact, that is now 4 turnovers caused by Marshall. 2 picks, 2 fumbles, 2 TDs just by the defense alone. So, still waiting on the snap here as the kicker's ready. It's a good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it looks to be true and through. 49-0. 8:50 remaining in the ball game when we return here on VYPE Live.
For high school sports coverage second to none, discriminating sports fans, booster clubs, and student bodies will tell you VYPE stands above the rest. VYPE can provide your school and your entire school district with complete digital video streaming and live broadcast coverage at prices that fit your budget. Find out more information at VYPE. VYPE.com. VYPE.com.
Welcome back to the ball game, everybody. Here at beautiful Turner Stadium in Humble ISD, as it has been all Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes leading 49-0 over the Nederland Bulldogs after a pick 6 return by Halsey, the junior, his 4th interception on the season alone. And it has now pushed it up to a 7-score ball game with 8:50 remaining here in the 4th quarter, as that is now interception number 14 on the season. And again, Halsey has 4 of those credited to his name alone. So Buffalo's going to be a high end-over-end kick. That's going to be fair, caught right there about the 26-yard line. So trekking back out will be Cunningham in this offense. And just this second half alone, Fort Bend has really turned up the pressure. For Nederland, their first drive was a punt. The second drive was a turnover on downs. Then a fumble that was recovered in the end zone by Fort Bend. Then a fumble recovered by Fort Bend on the 36-yard line of Nederland. And then now an interception returned to the house by Fort Bend. And it has been 3 straight drives here for Nederland, 3 straight turnovers. So you know they're definitely going to come out here trying to break that trend. And it's also been they've been picking up the infraction bug as well, as a lot of penalties going against Nederland here in this second half alone. As in the first half, again, I believe they only picked up 1 infraction. Cunningham is going to be an inside handoff. Nope, it's quarterback keeper. He pitches it off over to Marzik, and then lowers the boom and makes a nice scampering pickup to about the 34-yard line. So a gain of about 5 yards here for the Bulldogs. Nice quarterback option run there by Cunningham. Did a fake right there to the inside, then kept it, bounced it out to the outside, and did a nice job pitching it to Marzik, who then just had one-on-one, but the Bulldogs defender was able to corral him down after a pickup of 5. So 2nd and 5, ball moves up again all the way up to the 34-yard line as it's 8:15 and counting. 15 seconds remain on the play clock here as Cunningham finally has it, barks it out to everybody, sends a man in motion, takes the snap. It's going to be an inside handoff again. Cuts back up as Marzik, and then he fumbles it, and it's going to be picked up by Fort Bend and then brought down right there at the 38-yard line. 4 drives, 4 turnovers, and the 3rd fumble this half alone. And it is just when it rains, it pours here, as this Fort Bend team is just having their will. Again, 4 turnovers on 4 straight drives here in the second half alone. Their 5th turnover of the ballgame. 3 fumbles, 2 picks, and out comes Banks again in prime position now as he takes over deep in Bulldog territory on the 38-yard line. With 7:53 remaining in the ballgame, you know they're just looking to try to run the clock out here and move on in the playoffs. It's going to be an inside handoff. Lowering the boom is Wortham, and then he makes it all the way up to the 35. So a good gain of about 4 yards to make it 2nd and 6 here for the Buffaloes. Still waiting to see how the playoff format will lie out to see who Fort Bend will play next. So no official word on that just yet. Looking around here to see some other scores. And right now, setting up in the shotgun here is Banks, and then referees are blowing something dead here, waiting on something to be decided. I think there's a leaf on the field, and the back referee thought it was a flag, but nope. So it's going to be a snap to Banks. Banks going to be quarterback keeper. He's trying to make a couple people miss and get to the outside. He makes it all the way to the 30, and then finally flung down at the 27-yard line.
So solid pickup there by Banks. It's short of the first down marker, or it might be right at the stick. And, he's about a nose of the football short of the first down marker. So it should make it 3rd and just inches here. And a couple scores for you. These are a little bit old, so my apologies. But Ridge Point is trailing Atascocita at half, 24-21. Liberty Hill is tied 14-14 with Rouse in the end of the first quarter. And Fort Bend Marshall, well, we know how that game's going here. And then around the league here, Vandy leading 10-6 over Brenham at halftime. It's going to be a snap, and then it's going to be a handoff from Banks to number 11, and that's White as he is ripped down. And it will be a pickup of about 1 yard there. And my apologies, on that previous run was a first down, so that was a first down play right there. That now makes it 2nd and long here, about 2nd and 9 for Fort Bend as they now move past the 20 to the, my apologies, 26. It's very difficult to see where he was standing there as several players were right in the way. So 2nd and long here, 5:40 counting left in the ball game. Inside handoff, trying to make it out to the outside is Wortham, and then he is drugged down by the defender there. Nice play by the middle linebacker, just not allowing Wortham to make any room, and then slams him down. And in fact, Wortham's a little bit gimpy, and he falls to the ground in pain, and they're going to call a timeout while they run out there and check on him. So we'll take a quick timeout while they check on the injured Buffalo. 5:25 remaining the ball game here on VYPE Live.
GetAGreatGig.com presents Gary Horn of HornSolutions.net on the most important factors in starting a business.
Number 1, where will you get the necessary capital? 2, you will probably not make money for some period of time. Prepare a conservative model of expected cost and revenues. 3, are you willing to work long hours for no pay and make sure all employees are paid?
For more free career and job search advice, log on to GetAGreatGig.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn, CEO of Horn Solutions. Our team of experienced accounting, finance, and IT professionals have delivered solutions to Houston businesses for over 3 decades. Our project group provides services ranging from assisting with mergers, acquisitions, and integrations to interim staffing. Our executive search group provides full-time placements for accounting, finance, and IT positions. Let Horn Solutions help you meet the challenges your company faces. Visit hornsolutions.net.
And my apologies, during the commercial break, there was a handoff that was bounced to the outside here for Fort Bend, and it was a huge pickup as it will be a 1st and 10 here for the Buffaloes after a brilliant run by number 28, Fontenot. Called his name a couple of times as he was able to scamper to the outside and finally was brought down past the 15, right there about the 13-yard line. So in business again is the Buffaloes as it is now 1st and 10. Ball on the 13-yard line. They can still pick up the first down without being in 1st and goal. They have to make it to the 4-yard line to pick up the first down. Banks takes a snap. It's going to be handed off to Fontenot, who then is met in the backfield by several Bulldogs, and it will be a loss on the play of 1 as it gets pushed back to the 15-yard line. So 2nd and 11 here as we trickle in under 4:25 remaining in the ball game. And I also just want to give a shout out to everybody back at the VYPE Live studios. Josh, Suna, Merle, making sure we look good, sound good. Appreciate you guys taking some time out on your Saturday to bring us some playoff football. Hopefully you guys continue to have a blessed holiday break. And it goes for everybody back at home who's still listening in. And if you're part of the Fort Bend fans tuning in, then you are extremely happy about this result. And if you're the Nederland fans, you know these boys are going to need to be picked up after this game. Inside, it's a quarterback keeper by Banks after he faked the inside handoff, juking around in the backfield, and it finally is taken down about at the 10-yard line, so a pickup of about 5 yards. Nice job by Banks making something out of nothing, and in fact, it will be to the 9-yard line, so 3rd and manageable here as they still have to pick up 5 more yards to get the first down, and once they do get the first down, then they will be moved into 1st and goal. And thank you to Josh, who got me some updated scores here. It's 28-21 Rouse over Liberty at half, 41-38 Ridgeport over Atascocita in the 4th. So very exciting game, just a couple of blocks over from where we are located here in Humble, Texas. And it'll be Banks running the quarterback keeper. He's getting out to the left side. He's going to be running into some trouble, juking around back there. Finally is done taken down, and it doesn't look like he gained any yards. So after all the juking and jiving, nothing there for Banks. Makes it 4th down, 4th and 5, 2:55 and counting. And you have to think Fort Bend is going to keep the offense out there because I don't even think they know what a special teams play is. So they will. They'll keep Banks on the field as they will allow this clock to bleed down. There's 25 seconds on the play clock, so there should be about, 2:10 by the time they have to snap this, 2:15 range right in there. So taking their time right now as they're still setting up. Banks finally has the play call in. He's barking it up to the line. He's got 2 wide receivers to his far right, 1 over in single coverage. Banks going to do a quarterback keeper here. Juke out into the middle. Then finally is hit and then brought down right there at the 8-yard line. So it should be a turnover on downs. And it will be the Bulldogs taking over deep into their territory. And in fact, that is the 4th turnover on downs by Fort Bend. And now the Bulldogs will try to see if they can break their streak. 4 drives, 4 turnovers. And in fact, it was a fumble, and it was recovered for a touchdown. Fumble, recovered on the 36-yard line in Nederland. Interception, returned for a touchdown. And then a fumble, recovered again by Fort Bend. So Cunningham will trek out there, trying to see if here on drive number 7 in the second half, if maybe this is the drive that can allow you to pick up some points. 2:10 left in the ball game. They still have 3 timeouts remaining, but they're going to have to travel 93 yards to gain any points. It's going to be an inside handoff to Marzik, who then is taken down immediately at the 10-yard line, so a gain of about 3 yards here, as it will make it 2nd and 7 here for the Bulldogs. And no apparent rush now as we are under 1:55 and counting. About 30 seconds remaining still in the play clock, so tons of time here for the Bulldogs as Cunningham still looking over to the sideline to try to get the play. As of right now, his formation is looking like he is going to have 2 wide receivers set up to the far right, 1 wide receiver over to his far left. He's going to have Marzik, the running back, split off to his left, and then the tight end just kind of juked off the line a little bit. Takes the snap. It's going to be an inside handoff. Marzik being patient, trying to bounce it to the outside. Stiffs arm a man, but then he's able to bring him down as they are taking him down right there at the 14-yard line. So it will make it 3rd and very reasonable here for the Bulldogs as we are now under 1:09 left in the ball game. And by the time they snap it, if they bring the clock all the way down, there should be about 35 seconds left in the ball game. So we're going to see as the Bulldogs don't look in too much of a rush here as they are just looking over to the sideline, taking their time getting the play call on this one, as it will be, again, 3rd and 4 with 10 seconds left on the play clock. Cunningham's going to have to speed it up a little bit. He snaps it with 3 seconds remaining, hands off to Marzik, who then tries to cut back up the middle and not happening. It's gain of 1 yard. And it's going to bring up 4th down, and I don't think they're going to snap it here as it looks like both teams are kind of headed towards the center line to kind of go congratulate everybody. I'd be shocked if the Bulldogs try to run one more play here, especially on 4th down. And there's 15 seconds. Play clock hasn't even remotely started yet. 10 seconds, and nope, that's going to do it as the Bulldogs now are starting to walk over to their sideline. You can see the seniors are consoling each other as they know they had a brilliant playoff run, but they just ran into a juggernaut of the Fort Bend Marshall Buffaloes. And so that brings us to our conclusion here, as Fort Bend absolutely ran away with this one tonight. And in fact, I will give you a quick breakdown of their drives. We'll start with their first drive and run through it. Punt, 76-yard touchdown, Harvey to Marshall. Turnover on downs. That was on a kind of a kickoff. My apologies. It's a punt, 76-yard touchdown, Harvey to Marshall. Turnover on downs, 2-yard touchdown run by McGowan. 8-yard touchdown, Harvey to Matthews. Then in the second half, turnover on downs, 40-yard touchdown, Harvey to Marshall. And then an 18-yard touchdown by Dudley. And then a turnover on downs. But the defense made a ton of noise in the second half. In fact, 4 straight drives, 4 straight turnovers for Nederland in this running through their plays here in the game. It was a punt, interception, punt, punt, turnover on downs, fumble that was a touchdown recovered by Fort Bend, fumble recovered on the 36-yard line by Fort Bend, interception return for a touchdown, fumble recovered by Fort Bend, and then the play clock ran out. So that should do it for us here, everybody. I appreciate everybody tuning in, everybody back in the VYPE Live studios. Josh, Merle, Suna, making sure we look good, sound good. Continue to have a good holidays for all you that are watching back at home. Fort Bend moves on. For everybody else tuning in, continue the holidays, and good night, everybody.